All right, guys, let's talk about appraisals, up and coming markets, and value and usability of those appraisals for other deals. So we recently had a deal in Milwaukee where an experienced investor bought a property that was distressed, rehabbed it, then refinanced it, and got an appraisal on the refinance. That appraiser valued that property substantially above what other comparables in that market were going for. I don't know the reason why. That doesn't matter. What matters is the appraisal on the refinance had a value tied to it. That borrower then continued to buy properties with that appraisal in mind on that property. There were no comparable sales to that appraisal. I mean, the disparity was in the tens of thousands of dollars difference. So when we went to go get a BPO and an ARV assessment on that, we use market data. We're blind to those appraisals because they're not public records. We use market data to come up with what the desktop CMA company thought the ARV was. And of course, that ARV came back substantially lower. So what does this all mean? Well, one, an appraisal is an opinion of value. It's supposed to be based on market data, and then they've got their assessments and they've got some subjectivity that they can put into that value. It's going to be a challenge for appraisers, people doing desktop CMAs, and even lenders to bank on the trend to keep going up. That would be a non-conservative approach despite the data pointing that direction. Things like the recent economic turmoil can actually cause those lines to take a dip. That being said, what you really need to focus on and what is a conservative approach is to rely on what the market public record sales data is telling you. If you've got one property and the appraisal comes back at this, I wouldn't use that as the singular point of focus or even a strong point of focus to influence your buying decisions on things that are in the public record. Lenders, appraisers, realtors, they have access to what's on the public domain. They don't necessarily have access to your refinance appraisal, and therefore it's not likely to be considered. And I think it's a fair assessment to say, and a lot of experienced investors would agree, that you shouldn't be banking on the trend lines to keep going up. You should always be doing your math conservatively because things can happen that you don't expect. Exhibit A is what's been going on the last month or so. So that's my tip for the day. See ya.